So I'm adding film to my workflow as a cinematographer and had the opportunity to test out the SR3 with a few of my friends over at DC Camera. The SR3 is one of the most popular pro 16mm cameras made by Ari. So, Ari Alexa, Ari Amira, the Ari, LF, Alexa Mini LF. All these things are made by Ari, so think about that in film form. The SR line has been a staple when it comes to both features and commercials. It is a very compact, beautiful, synced sound 16mm, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm making this video to talk about my experience, the process, the cost, and my thoughts on integrating film into my existing workflow. So the process: load, meter, operate. Film cameras are very simple. Cameras are very simple. The difference is you have to spend a lot more time with your shot when you're shooting film. We did bring my Alexa LF so we can compare the two, but it's a similar sort of operation outside of the things you have to do for film. And the camera is the same but different, right? The camera consists of a viewfinder, a physical viewfinder in which you're looking through and you're seeing the film sort of roll through. It's very, very, very interesting. A video tap, which is pretty much a way to see it on a monitor. And obviously the body, the mags, which we had to get loaded by somebody else. I'll talk about that in a second. We had a gold mount on it, obviously a PL mount, and you're up and shooting. For monitoring, we had two small HDs, because that would essentially be my setup if we were shooting. But for loading, I brought my friend Camila, who is a jack of all trades, does directing, does sound, does writing, does a little bit of everything, so she could help me load. But Tristan, who's the owner over at DC Camera, he loaded for us, and then Camila unloaded. In terms of the operation of the camera, once you set it up, it's really not that difficult outside of the patience you need to make sure you have the right cords in the right places. And then, operating, you just press the button, but you have to wait for the beep. And the beep is when it tells you that the camera is up to the right speed. Lens-wise, we used Zeiss Otis lenses. Those are rehoused by GL Optic. I also use the Zeiss 16mm primes that they recommend at DC Camera, and I brought one Blazar. In terms of the experience, I can see myself exploring 16mm. It was really cool to shoot a handheld. We shot a lot on sticks. I think you just find yourself caring more about the shot. Like, I found myself metering a little bit more, thinking about the frame, being way more careful than I would be if I was shooting digital. And then I feel that having the film camera there made my digital footage look better. So if anything, shooting film would be something that would add to my qualities as a digital DP. And overall, I think the crew really liked it. My friends really liked it. Everyone liked shooting on the 16 because it just felt so real. Quentin Tarantino always talks about the illusion of film, how it's just like images going through a plane. And when you're shooting film, you actually feel that. It's not like a digital, viewfinder you're seeing. You're watching the film, just watching the mirror, watching the film. Watching the mirror, just rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate. And it's just really cool to watch. So that to me is really special, and that was a super fun experience. And ever since then, we've been trying to figure out a way to get 16mm, but the cost. So the 16mm doesn't cost a ton, but it costs a ton. You know what I mean? It's like you can shoot on a digital card and not have to pay for anything. But when you shoot on film, you have to buy the film, which is $200. You have to rent the camera, which is around $600, and then you rent the lenses, which is around $300 or $400, can't remember. And then you get the film developed, and I think the minimum at Color Lab was $270 or $279 or something like that. So we're at this total. I didn't calculate it, so I'm just putting it on the screen. So it's really difficult to say, hey, let's shoot on this versus this. Now, the qualities of film, the range of film, the texture of film, you can't get it except for to shoot on film. The big thing for me in trying to add film into my workflow is finding something that I care about that much to spend that amount of money. Each, day of film with lenses and camera and all the little things is like buying a small camera. But you will not be able to recreate a moment like that in time without all those things. So, again, I'm grateful. And a quick tidbit about rental companies and especially DC Camera in this situation. When you want to test things out at a rental spot, it's usually free. And I don't want to talk for all rental companies out there, but all the ones I know, it is free to test out a camera in their bay, figure out if you like it, get an idea of the feel. And I think it's just a wonderful things that they offer us as a community. And it's something that I think a lot of people don't take advantage of. So again, thank you, DC Camera. And for those who are local, please check them out, test in their bay, rent from them, all the things. But yeah, I'm curious for those who have shot film, what have you shot on? What are you using? What type of stuff do you like to shoot on film specifically? And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.